John Rawls. Okay, as I said, a direct question was asked from Rawls' thoughts in one of the previous year examinations. So he becomes very crucial. Understand him very properly. And out of all the contractarian ethicists, he is the most modern one. In fact, he was a Harvard professor, an American philosopher, thinker, reformer. He is also a professor. He served in the Harvard University, taught philosophy throughout his life. In fact, he wrote a book. The name of the book is A Theory of Justice. It was published in 1971. So he's a 20th century American philosopher. आप ऐसे सोच सकते हो, ठीक है? Quite similar to how William David Ross was, 20th century philosopher. So Rawls, in his theory of justice, has tried to reconcile two ideas. One is liberty, and the other one is equality. Sometimes they might appear mutually hostile to each other, because if you uphold liberty completely, you may give up on equality. If you focus more on equality and become obsessed with it, you may have to curb some liberty. So to balance both is the art of administration and the aim of government. ऐसे सोच कर देख लो. So Rawls, in his theory of justice, is trying to attain that balance between liberty and equality in a principled way by appealing to the old idea of social contract. This is what he is saying. Now, what is Rawls' thought? He is saying that yes, we want the social contract, but the problem with the social contract is when people will sit for negotiating the clauses of the contract, those who are in a relatively better position in the society, socially or economically or politically or due to all the reasons, they will dominate the discussion. They will make the clauses in their favor more. Like say, for example, if the society is divided into different economic classes, if the society is divided into different social classes, if the society is divided on the basis of political power, military power, etc., it means there is a kind of heterogeneity prevailing in the society, and the society is not homogeneous. Then those who are in power positions, they will twist the clauses of the contract in such a manner that the contract benefits them and not everybody, and that would be very bad. So he says that how people have gained political, economic and social power in the society. He says all of them, they have gained it over a period of time. And suppose when there was state of nature, saying when there was state of nature, nobody had any power, but slowly with the evolution of the contract and with accumulation of wealth and with accumulation of prestige, power, authority, etc., people have accumulated power, people have gained power. So there is a political journey, there is a social journey, there is an economic journey, and different people are at different stages of that journey. So if you come at any point in time, you will find few people at a relatively better position with respect to others. And if that's the case, then those who are in a dominant position, they will try to exploit the contract. They will try to make the clauses in such a manner that they benefit and not all. So what's the way out? Rawls says that we have to drag all the people back to the original position. And he calls it original position. It means the position from where everything originated. Now we are not in the original position, it's a highly modified position. Why? Because you have some property, you live in a particular type of house, you have some type of political clout, you have some type of social clout, you have some money in the bank account. All those things were not done in one day. Maybe for some families you would see it is something which is achieved across generations. So grandfather started some factory, then father improved it, then the son is working on it, and now you are a millionaire and all of that. So all of that did not happen in one day, but it's a collective effort of your generations. That's why you see that if you are in a relatively better position in the society, you will negotiate the contract in such a way that you benefit and not others. So Rawls says कि अगर ऐसी eventuality हमको हटानी है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? We have to bring everybody to the same starting line from where they started, and that's the original position. And how can we achieve the original position? He says original position can be achieved by a device called the veil of ignorance. So there is something called the original position, which is the starting position. Here is where the contract has to be negotiated. And how can we achieve that? Through the veil of ignorance. It means, look here very carefully, original position is the thought experiment of John Rawls, and veil of ignorance is the imagined device to perform that experiment. To understand this with the help of a simple example, just think of this. Suppose the contract is negotiated in a room or in a hall, and the hall is divided into small rooms or small chambers. And suppose there is one person who is in this chamber, there is another person who is in this chamber, there is another person who is in this chamber, another person who is in this chamber, person in this chamber, another person in this chamber. So all are in different chambers, and over you there is a veil of ignorance. Veil of ignorance मतलब पर्दा है आपके दिमाग पे जहां पे आपको ये नहीं पता that who are you in the society. It means you don't know whether you are a millionaire, you don't know about your gender, you don't know who you are in the society. Now let us negotiate the clauses. You will always go for those clauses which are just, which are full of justice, because you don't know when the veil is lifted. If you happen to be on the wrong side of the deal, then you are screwed. So that's why you don't know that which law might hurt you. Therefore, you will only go for the just laws. And whenever the veil is lifted, you are happy because all the laws are just. That's what he is saying. Like say for example, here A, R, T, S, D, N, P, they have no idea who they are in the society. They are men, they don't know. They are women, they don't know. What is their economic status? They don't know. What is their political status? They don't know. Do they have voting rights? They don't know. They don't know anything. Do you understand that? Now suppose in front of them there is a screen, and in that screen clauses are highlighted, and they have two buttons. Suppose a red button and a green button. When they press the green button, they support the clause. When they press the red button, they do not support the clause. I mean, Rawls has not said all of this. I am making it up to make you understand. So think of this. On the screen, the first law that flashes is that only men will pay taxes. That's the first law. And suppose P is seeing the screen, and P doesn't know anything about himself or herself, whatever. So P cannot say yes to this, because if the veil is lifted and it is found that P is a man, then P will be only forced to pay the taxes. Or suppose something like that, this is a liability. Let's give a privilege. In that case also you won't be able to vote. Jobs will be reserved only for men. It's a privilege. Still you cannot vote. Liability में तो vote कर ही नहीं पाओगे. Privilege पे भी नहीं vote कर पाओगे. Why? Because you know when the veil is lifted, if you are a woman, then you are out of the job industry. So, in that way, the clauses that would be adopted, none of them would be racist, sexist, or exploitative in any way. That's what Rawls is saying. And Rawls is saying that in this wheel of ignorance, people reach to the original position. They do not know who they are in advance in the society. Once the wheel is lifted, they know about their position in the society. But Rawls is also saying that the people are not completely, like say for example, fools. It's not that they have no idea about anything. They have all the idea about fact and science. It means they understand both arts and science. It means they understand what is liberty, they understand what is democracy, they also understand what is economy, what is polity, what is government, what is good government, what is IS. They understand everything. The only thing that they don't know is who they are in the society. They don't know, I'm a millionaire, I'm a cricketer, I'm a singer, I'm a poet, who am I? I'm a man, I'm a female, what am I? They don't know anything about it, but they know everything about how the world operates. It means they know everything about fact and science. They are also willing to follow something if everybody else is following. So they are also motivated by the minimal sense of justice. They are also saying that I will follow all the rules if others are following. Only thing that they don't know is who they are. And once that happens, they will always advocate that rule or that clause which benefits all. And that's how the collective interest, the general interest, or the self-interest, whatever you want to say, everything will be promoted. And Rawls here, he is saying, then they will make laws in the light of the principles of justice. Principles of justice. What is this principles of justice? Very clearly, you see this. There are two principles. The first principle say that everybody will be willing to uphold a set of liberties for themselves if their set is compatible with the set of everybody else. Simple words में ऐसे सोच कर देखो that आपको जो liberty मिलेगी इस contract में, आप उस liberty को लेने को तैयार हो जाओगे provided बाकियों को भी वही liberty मिली हो, ज़्यादा ना मिली हो. Like say for example, if you go to Article 19 Clause 1, it has several sub-clauses and it gives you all the liberties like say the freedom of speech, expression, freedom to assemble freely without arms, freedom to form associations, unions, cooperative society, freedom to move throughout the territory of India, freedom to reside, settle any part of India, freedom to practice any profession, carry on any occupation, trade or business. So you get all the freedoms, and all these freedoms are available to all the citizens. If you look at the text of Article 19, it goes something like this: all the citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, A, B, C, D, ऐसे जो भी है, सबको मिला हुआ है. If suppose for you there are 6 freedoms, originally there were 7 freedoms, but right to property now no longer is a freedom. So for you there are 6 freedoms, but for your neighbor there are 8 freedoms. Will you agree? No, you won't agree. For your neighbor, if there are 4 freedoms, he will not agree. So Rawls says that first we have to focus on liberty, and people will always uphold that set of liberty which they found is compatible with everybody else. It means it is similar to everybody else. That's how he's trying to promote liberty through his principles of justice. And the second clause deals with equality. And he says that there are 2 subparts of it, A and B. First, he says that people may tolerate inequality. People may tolerate inequality if the benefits of the inequality goes to those who are in the most need of it. ध्यान से सुनना मैंने क्या बोला. I said that people will want equality, perfect equality, but people may tolerate inequality if the benefits of inequality goes to those who are in the worst condition. Like say for example, suppose the clause that is reflected in front of any of them, suppose the clause is that those who will have income less than 50,000 per year will not have to pay any tax. Now, if the wheel is lifted, they end up to be the people who have less than 50,000 of income, they benefit. If the wheel is lifted and they find that their income is above 50,000, they are anyhow in a relatively better position in the society. So, it's a win-win situation. So, people will tolerate inequality only if the benefits of the inequality goes to those who are in the most need in the society. Like say for example, similarly therefore you can see special laws for women, for children or for other vulnerable sections, say tribals, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, PVTGs. So if such kind of laws are made, people will generally agree to it because they are facing relative challenges in the society. Do you understand that? And this is known as the Maximin principle. Maximin principle simply means the maximum benefit out of inequality should go to those who are in the minimum conditions. Then you will agree to it. Then you will tolerate inequality. Like say for example, if the clause says that those who are earning more than $5 million, they will not have to pay any tax, you won't agree to it because they are not in the minimum position in the society. So the maximum benefit should not go to them. So this is the first principle of equality. Here is how he is balancing equality with liberty. Second is he is saying that those who are in the same circumstance, the law should treat them similarly. It means people in same situation, the law should treat them similarly. People who are in different situation, law should treat them differently, the same law itself. It is nothing but equal protection of the laws, or likes should be treated alike. Treated alike. And this is nothing but it is affirmative action or positive discrimination. And both these ideas along with the first one also is adopted by the Indian Constitution. Like say think of this. There are three kind of people or three slabs. Like say for example, one where people is earning more than 10 million, one less than or up to 1 million, and then suppose less than $1 million. That's how the income slabs are. Now we cannot have the same uniform rate of taxation on them, 10%, 10%, 10%. Rather it has to be a progressive rate of taxation. Those who are in same position, the tax should treat them similarly. Those who are in different position, the tax should treat them differently. Suppose somebody is earning less than even $50,000, then maybe the tax should be much less. $10,000 much less. $4,000 may be exempted. So here maybe the tax may look like 10%, 20%, 30%. Even on them there could be a surcharge, a cess, etc. That is nothing but like should be treated alike. But all the people who are in the 1 million bracket, all of them should be treated similarly. Do you understand that? Anybody who is in the 1 million bracket should not be forced to pay more or should be given the privilege to pay less when all others in that bracket are paying a particular rate. This is nothing but the likes should be treated alike or the equal protection of laws. Do you understand that? That is John Rawls' principles of justice.